My name's Joseph. I've been doing Taekwondo for 12 to 13 years. I got into Taekwondo because my mom really wanted something that could discipline me and keep me fit. I started Taekwondo when I was around 7 years old. My favorite thing about Taekwondo is how it keeps me disciplined and how I continue to learn new things every single day. I think my favorite memories came from the bus. Honestly, just getting to know everyone and making inside jokes, having a lot of fun, just talking with them. There was a period in my life where I was going through a lot of things and I didn't really have anything to push me through that time, and no motivation and just no incentive for me to really be alive. And because Taekwondo was something that I've done for such a long time and invested a lot of my time into, it became a thing where I would do it out of duty and respect to the people around me, and realizing that I'm not just living for myself but for the people around me, which included my studio. And that's what really kept me continuing in my sport, and it actually helped me grow in my faith as well, because it made me realize that my life isn't going to be full of joys and fun times, but that it's going to be full of hard experiences and just periods of my life where I need to push through. The competition team here went to Princeton for a tournament, and I ended up competing only one match, not because I lost, but because I ended up breaking my foot in the middle of the match. I was very desperate to win. Thankfully, I won, so it wasn't like completely embarrassing, but it still did hurt my ego a little bit, and I ended up not being able to touch my foot on the floor for 4 months. So that was in February of this year, so that was 9 months ago, and I'm still working on recovering, and hopefully I'll be able to compete aggressively in 2 months. Because I've done Taekwondo for such a long time, it's become a part of my identity. And I think as a Christian, it's important to recognize that your identity is in nothing but Christ. And I think that was a hard lesson that I learned a while ago, but when I broke my foot, I realized how much of my identity still lies in Taekwondo. And although it is an important part of my life, it's not something that defines me anymore. It's just something that adds to who I am. And just learning to trust and rely on God and realizing that my talents and my abilities can disappear in a second was really important to me as a person. I think just realizing that I have no control and that God has everything has just been so impactful for me over the past 6 months. I think looking into the future, I realized that I can kind of, in a way, relate to David from the Bible. He had skills as a shepherd and was able to take care of his sheep, but his season of life moved on to something else where he ended up having to take care of God's people. And although my story might not be as great as that or impactful as his, I think there is still an element of just moving on. And I have to admit that I'm not going to be able to keep up with a lot of people competing in Taekwondo now. And I have to accept the fact that God has given me talents and skills that are related to Taekwondo, but I don't need Taekwondo to use those skills. And some of those skills can include things like leadership, public speaking, just encouragement and motivation to the people around me. And I don't need to keep that just in the world of Taekwondo. I can bring that into the church or just my friends or whatever season of life is next for me.